This is Mark Bell from Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. Today's episode, we have Mr. Layne, Dr. Layne Norton, doing some squats and doing some deadlifts with me and my boy Silent Mike. You're going to see an appearance from Filipino Thunder as well.
Why is Layne so jacked all the time?
He's on that juice. He's on that Jesse Norris program.
Pineapple juice?
You know what I mean?
Cranberry?
I don't know. I don't know what these guys are doing, but they compete in this tested federation. I think that the federation is actually testing to make sure that you are taking steroids.
Well, I think on a
if you're not taking them, then you're out.
On a light note, people always go to drug tests, and obviously the USAPL and the IPF drug test for steroids. But people are like, no, like I drug test or whatever. Like, well, there's marijuana, there's fucking cocaine, then there's performance-enhancing drugs. Typically, what companies or
you think
associations?
Layne's on all of them?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah. He's a cocaine dealing, marijuana smoking.
We had Bryce Lewis here as well, and Layne Norton, and also Jesse Norris. And the common factor with all three guys squatting well over 600 pounds and just a pair of knee sleeves.
Pulling over
all
7.
All three guys pulling over 7, and all three guys benching or close to 400 pounds. Very, very strong athletes, very gifted athletes. The common factor with all three of them is that they work really, really fucking hard. Some of the hardest working lifters I have ever been around, and I've been around for 1,000 years and seen a lot of people lift. Layne actually kind of outworks all of them in some way because of the amount of frequency that he has. Layne was here for about 5 days in Sacramento, and he worked out 4 out of those 5 days, and he pretty much squatted on every single one of those days, I believe. So the guy's a nutcase.
Not only was it 4 days, but it was probably like 10 hours worth of working out.
Yeah, he works out for a very long time. Interesting point with him and Jesse Norris, I thought, was the fact that they both like to do the same warm-up pretty much all the time. Norris likes to do the same amount of reps associated with particular weights. For example, he might do 315 for 12 and 405 for 10 every single workout as he's working up in a squat or a deadlift. And Layne was similar. Layne actually likes to use kind of some odd numbers in his warm-ups. Most of us are too lazy to do that. Most of the time we would just go from 315 to 365 to 405 because that's how it works out with the plates. But Layne would use 5s and 2.5s and all kinds of weird change to warm up with whatever weight he wanted to warm up with.
I think another common factor with these lifters is that they've all been training for a very long time. Powerlifting just got really popular within the last couple of years, especially raw powerlifting. But guys like Layne, Bryce, Jesse Norris, they've been lifting bench, squat, and deadlift for years and years and years with a lot of hard work and a lot of volume. They're just now maybe getting the big recognition for being some of the strongest in our nation. Yeah,
true. And here's Layne. I think Layne did like 4 or 5 sets with the same weight. And even on rep number 1 of set number 1, it doesn't look like the fastest and easiest, most effortless squat you've ever seen. It's still pretty difficult. He's still got to put a lot into each and every squat that he does. So
yeah, Layne's a little more rare compared to the other guys, where his speed is kind of the same with 315 all the way up to whatever he squatted, 668, I believe. The bar path's the same, consistency's the same, but the speed's kind of the same, where, more typical lifter, 400 moves a little faster than 500, naturally.
And some people think this is shitty form because of his style.
It is. It's shit form.
It's shit form. Let's just call it that. He has kind of a good morning style of a squat. He's got some, he sciences the shit out of everything, but the simple thing is that, for him, this feels right to him. It feels good for him. He has a strong lower back. He's a guy that's deadlifted over 700 pounds in competition, and this is the way that he squats the most amount of weight.
I recently, a little bit off topic here, saw the movie Martian, and I believe Matt Damon stole Layne Norton's quote.
Yeah, science the shit out of it.
I'm about to science the shit out of this, and I believe Layne Norton's been doing that for years, so hopefully he gets his royalties from the Martian.
So here he is going with another set. He just keeps going and going and going. I think I got up to my working set, my top set, and I think I did like 1 or 2 sets, and he did probably 4 or 5 more sets after that. So
you went straight to the buffet, and he went right back to the barbell.
Yeah, he went right back to squats. Squats are too hard is what I decided.
I think he changes, obviously, his volume and frequency depending on where he is through his prep. But one thing that does stay consistent is he always bench squats and dead the competition lifts, which is pretty common with him and Bryce Lewis, where Jesse Norris does a little bit more variation, I think. He does a little bit of front squats.
Yeah.
He does some fat bar deficit deadlifts.
Yeah, Lane likes to stick to the movement itself. You know what's interesting about Lane is, you know, I've been pretty lean before, and the leaner I've gotten, you know, some clothes will come off here and there, maybe a t-shirt comes off, but I've never really gotten into this whole spandex thing. He has a lot of spandex, like, you know, his most of his luggage, most of the stuff in his
his package or his luggage?
Most of the stuff in his package, most of the stuff in his luggage was spandex. He was pretty much all spandex.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not really into that either personally, but I respect the man with the striated quads.
Here we are moving on to some deadlifts now. You know, he's got the, I think he has the tights on, you know, just to try to really show you. He's trying to really show you his whole package. I think that's what he's trying to do.
He's bringing his best package to the platform.
Yeah.
Which most people don't talk about or consider, but I like that.
That's a bodybuilding thing, right?
Right.
We learned that from
He's used to bringing
John
a good
Anderson.
package. The other thing I believe is that there's like 3 or 4 cameras going on. Here's Paul looking jacked as shit. Paul's a super tall guy, maybe 6'2", 6'3". He's built like a tall guy, if you know what I mean.
Paul is
wink, wink.
Paul is Lane's silent mic.
Paul's Lane's silent mic.
I mean, there is only one silent mic. Let's face the facts.
Yeah. He's his John Stockton to his Malone.
That's what he's trying to be.
His Magic Johnson to his Kareem.
That's what he's trying to be, right?
Yeah. Everyone wants to
Filipino Thunder.
Oh my God! I hope this is the last clip of this guy.
Was that sped up? Holy shit!
I've never seen someone move 335 that fast.
Yeah, it looks like Babe Ruth running the bases. Remember those old clips they'd show? Where he's
Nope.
moving super fast.
I don't know anything
You gotta
about
go
Babe
back
Ruth.
and watch.
Are you calling Marcus fat by the Babe Ruth?
Yeah. Look at this. Look at this.
What are you guys doing?
I don't know.
Playing Rochambeau in
I don't
between
know
sets?
what we're doing. But did you see that tight shirt? What's going on with that? Is that a bench shirt?
It's a bench shirt. He's now going to geared lifting.
He's wearing Spanx. I think that's Spanx.
Is that to hold in the package?
I think it's to hold in everything.
Just like he did crazy amounts of sets and reps on his squats, he did similar with his deadlifts. I was just trying to keep up. I think I was handling whatever the hell this is, 515 or something for sets of 6, and Lane was doing like 565 or 585 for sets of 6, something stupid.
It's interesting because you know, these guys will use, you know, 565, 585. It doesn't sound earth-shattering, but then Lane went to the meet. He competed at IPF Nationals in Pennsylvania, and USAPL Nationals in Pennsylvania, and I think he deadlifted 711 pounds there. So
weighing 204.
Your training weight, you shouldn't be trying to deadlift 722 week in and week out when your goal is to deadlift over 700 pounds in training. You're going to have to train up to that. You're going to have to get a lot of work in, and the only way to get a lot of work in is with submaximal weights, using multiple repetitions and multiple sets.
Super cliche, but don't always test your strength and build your strength. You know, if you're doing sets and reps, like Mark said, submaximal, meaning maybe 85% or below, chances are your technique's going to be a little bit better. You're going to be able to practice your form. Oh, is he doing the Dougie? Hit that Dougie!
That was amazing. I thought he was trying to nay-nay. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not up to speed on all this lingo, but it looked like that's what he was trying to do.
Doing the nay-nay. Here's Mark bringing out some conventional shit. Mark's about to do a bench-only meet. What's going on, Mark?
About to hit up some 600-pound benching at Jesse Burdick's meet this weekend, November 7th.
But you didn't bench once in this video.
I know. I didn't want to make Lane feel bad. Lane's got some pretty big pipes on him. Got some pretty big biceps.
Yeah, some bubbly biceps. I wonder what they measure. Did you measure them?
I didn't measure them, but I think it's from, you know, years of bodybuilding and powerlifting, and a good combination to help build everything up. And then on top of that, he's always been on point with his nutrition. Lane is kind of the, I guess you'd say, like founder / promoter of like flexible dieting. I don't even know what you'd call it, but he's a huge proponent of it, I guess you'd say.
He's very regimented too, and I want to, we want to congratulate him on his new supplement line with bodybuilding.com called Carbon.
Huge. That is huge. That is just some awesome stuff. I'm really glad to see people in the industry doing some big time stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very cool for someone who's has the experience as a lifter, experience as a coach, and also has the background in education of a doctor in nutrition to come out with his own supplement line.
Yeah, some awesome shit. He just keeps going and going. You guys notice how he's kind of wrenching his shoulders back before he does each pull. That's really crucial. We kind of call it protecting the armpit. You're trying to kind of pull your elbows in towards your body. A little bit the same way you would do for a bench press, actually.
And if you also notice, Mark and I kind of disappeared in this workout. we couldn't hang.
Yeah, we were dead. Oh, now he's cheating with that baby powder. Baby powder, for those of you who don't know, just helps the weights slide up your legs a little bit more. He ditched the straps because he doesn't like the haters on the interwebs.
It could have been baby powder. It could have also been anabolic cream.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's Instagram angles. Who knows at this point?
Hook grip, cheating again.
Yeah, I don't know how he does hook grip. That shit hurts really bad. Brutal. But he kept his form throughout the entire workout, didn't round over too much, and that's exactly what you're trying to do with these kind of sub-mount. Hey now, there's some glutes.
That may or may not help your deadlift.
And then we got Marcus on cleanup.
Finally found his rightful position with the vacuumer.
Strength is never a weakness, and that is it from Super Training Gym. Later.
Bitch.